Yeah, so Horizon has been doing these. We'll just go to my retweets because it's a little more condensed. Every day this week, Horizon has been doing these little short, like roughly 30-second environment reels. And then they also did one on cars. Well, one on a car, the Audi R8 V10. And they're lovely, and we haven't seen them yet. So we're gonna play these through. Has everybody seen these at this point? Are there people that haven't done them? Magnus, good job. Well done. Cause these are lovely. The music's great in them as well. I'm just gonna play through this one. This is the first one we got. Here, let me shut it. Let me move my cam. Move my cam. Ah. Yeah, the music is fantastic in these. It is very Ghibli coded. Especially the one we got today. And I called that this was going to be in the game. Not that that was a surprise or anything. Like, anyone could have called that. But I am happy it's in the game, because I totally called this, like, months ago. Like, they're totally going to have this in the game. And they do. So that's cool. That's the first one. Here's the second one. Look at that. We'll pause and we'll go back and we'll look at all these. Trust. But I just want to play through them all quick, just so you can all see them. That's beautiful too. I mean, come on. Cherry blossoms turned up to like 1,000 on that. And then there we get a look. There was a lot of talk about this in the Discord. A new stadium. Which, yeah, we'll talk about when we get to it. But I gotta play the last one. So yeah, there's that one. And then here's the final one. Which I have watched this. I've watched this one more than any of the other ones, and this one just came out like 5 hours ago. But the music and the vibes in this one, I just want to like cozy up with some warm tea. Like, everyone's been saying it on the internet, but like the vibes. Magnus. Like, that one's just so cozy. Playing it through. Yeah, so at the very least, the media team gets it. The media team gets it. Like, oh god, look at that scene. It looks so good. It looks wonderful. The vibes are immaculate. I also do have these, but I don't think these show anything different. I think they show, in fact, a lot less. So, whatever. Those don't matter. Anyway, let's start looking at these. Okay, one thing. Can someone go in Horizon 5 quick and confirm that the boats aren't the same as the Horizon 5 boats? I'm like, you know what? I'm almost 100% sure they're not. I think these are new boats. I don't think these are reused boats from Horizon 5, because the boats in Horizon 5 did not have this big bumper bar, and they weren't this thick. And they didn't have, I don't think they had the curve up at the front either. They were more flat. Yeah, they were wood too, yeah. This is, I don't know, something else. Fiberglass or something with like a foam core, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I'm fairly certain these are actually different boats. Yeah, fiberglass. Yeah, I don't know anything about boats, but that's my guess. Yeah, analyzing the shape and color of this fishing boat and the direction it's pointing in the shot, I have determined. But yeah, I mean, this looks good. There's nothing really too much to point at in this shot specifically. Foliage density looks nice. Lots of birds, lots of seagulls. We get a little bit of like a look into what some of the wildlife is going to be. So that's nice. Some signs. This all looks, Horizon. Like, realistically, again, being level-headed about it, like, this could be Horizon 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, it looks good. Don't get me wrong. The texture detail is great. But like Horizon's always been good at this. They've always been good at like foliage and like their photogrammetry rocks in Horizon 5 look quite good. Um so like, you know, it just looks like Horizon 5 a little bit more. Yeah, absolutely. Like the foliage is more dense. The scene as a whole like looks a little better. I think the lighting arguably looks a little bit better. You could maybe say the shadow resolution is a little better. Like, is that a... No, okay, I was gonna say, is that a like a shadow of a bird, but it's not. That's stationary. Um, yeah, Wyvernal, I'm fully with you. It does look more saturated, which I think is good. But yeah, lovely shot. This is the big one though. This is the massive Horizon 2 vibes. Massive Horizon 2 vibes. Horizon 2 had a big coastal road like this. You guys tell me, I think there is like a famous Japanese road, because I feel like I've seen these like supports before. I feel like I've seen these supports like in images. I don't know, but I think this is meant to be like a, you know, a Horizon take on a specific road. Okay, yeah, Luna says, I think I know what this bridge is. Yeah, you guys are saying this is real. Okay, yeah, so that my hunch was right. Yeah, feel free to tell me where this is and we can look at the real thing. But yeah, this looks great. I think the assumption is this is on the East Coast, because we all think that there's a big East Coast. But highway looks really good. Doesn't look too wide either. Like, it's got a shoulder to it. There's kind of like a slim shoulder here and a wider shoulder here, but like for a highway, I think that looks pretty nice. You tried to find the road. What's it called? Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of what this is called. Yeah, welcome back, Horizon 3 Great Ocean Road. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, we had a little bit of this in Horizon 3 as well. Horizon 2 and 3 both had this. The rock textures don't look very high res. I don't think that's true. They look great to me. On my end, maybe it's just the bit rate. To me, this looks quite good. This is out of focus. There's some depth of field happening here, and the focus is here, but here, I mean, all over here, it looks quite good to me. But we'll see. I do have some graphics things we'll complain about later. Yeah, exactly, Brainbow. That's like 2.3 car widths per lane, which is tiny for Horizon standards. It is though. I mean, I think for the speed you're going, I think this is really good. As far as road width, we don't necessarily like have a car to scale it against, but whatever. I think this looks great. I'm super in for this. This looks just phenomenal. Also, like the foliage, all the foliage density and everything, like just the layering for all of it is awesome. Like it's a really, really pretty looking scene. We get some people. We got face masks. They're bringing face masks back because that's, you know, more of a cultural norm in Japan. So cool to see. No one's walking. I checked. No walkers. No walkers in this one. Just some birds flying. You get like some idle animations. You know, you can see some people there. I don't know if there's too much you can really point at in this shot. But yeah, just, you know, just some people chilling. You can see like they're not the same NPCs that we had in Mexico. Not that that was a surprise, or not that that was expected, but yeah, there you go. This is lovely. Lovely little village here. You've got, I'm curious if we're going to see these driving at all. You got a little K-truck towing a boat. I really hope we can see these driving. Just because that's fun. But even if they're parked, I mean, so be it, I guess. But yeah, cute little K-truck. Nice little scene here. Nice little, kind of sleepy fishing village. You can see there's like a, Like a barge, I think is what that is over there. A barge or maybe like a dock crane or something over in the background. Looks nice. Sure, I'm all for it. Do we have any... Do any of the houses repeat? They do look similar. Those two on the end match, but that could be one building. So I'm not going to call that yet. Yeah. If you hit a K-truck with a bow fall, that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah, have these be drivable. That would be even better. Yeah, I don't think any of these are repeated. It's a very similar visual style. Like, you can tell they're, reusing assets, which of course is completely fine. But I don't think any of the actual buildings repeat, which is the important thing. And you would hope, like, in one street they wouldn't, but it's always good to check. Look at all the detail on the power pole, too. Look at all the, like, the little clamps and ground wires and the little street lamps and the actual, like, wires and everything. There's a lot of detail on just a street lamp. That one has a little ladder going up it. There's a lot of density to, like, the stuff in front of the houses. Like, you've got what looks like postcards or something, or can't really tell what's there. Sorry, I can't really zoom in. There's a little Vespa there, just a little bike, whatever. Lots of little pots. Yeah, I mean, it all looks really pretty. It looks nice. Yeah. Yeah. The road width is similar to what it was in 5. Yeah, I mean, we have a small car to compare. This looks like a perfectly fine road to me. Yeah. Perfectly fine road to me. Not super skinny, but like, and you could make an argument that it's not like accurate to a small fishing village in Japan, but I'm fine with this road width. That looks perfectly fine to me. More birdies. Oh, there's even more over there. This looks like it's got to be kind of in the same area. You got seagulls on the ground. You got ground birds and flying birds. And then a nice pretty boat. Guys, somebody analyze this. LI 1905. What does it mean? What does it mean? Why are they hiding the text? What does it all mean? Someone decipher. But yeah, you got a little kind of shored up fishing boat. Looks like. Looks nice. Oh, it looks. You know what, actually? No. I was going to say those are roads. I don't think those are roads. But I wonder if this is like Legend Island over here. Because this does look like the eastern coast. I'm very curious. It looks like there's a road kind of right there. You see a little bit of flat. Maybe there's road there, but it's hard to tell. It looks like it's just kind of a break in the trees, but that kind of implies a road. I do wonder if this is Legend Island over past the boat. Yeah. What does it mean? Wyvern, no, I agree. Looks vaguely similar to Legend Island. The hills are quite similar. Yeah. Yeah, I do wonder if that's what that is. And then this is, again, I don't know the name of it, but this is a real place. This is a real place in Japan, real shrine. So that's cool. My guess is you can't go there at all. And, I'm sure they probably wouldn't put a big, like, they're not going to put like a bonus board like right here. Because that seems, I'm not one to be like, oh no, they're not gonna do it because culture, because it's sacred, whatever. But like that is actually like they wouldn't do that. But yeah, this is cool. This is another like real landmark. Looks great. Again, that might be Legend Island on the other side in theory. Super dense foliage. Lighting looks good. Shading looks good. Yeah, big old stunt jump right there. So that's pretty. You got Fuji in the background of this one. So, actually, this must mean this is like a lake. This place is this. Because this is facing... Left to right is facing west. Oh, this is interesting, actually. Yeah, I didn't really clock this initially. This must be a lake inland. This is not on the coast, because the coast would be off to the east here. Interesting. Yeah, so I think this must be kind of west on the map. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, you think this is around Hakone with the stadium and that circle road? Huh. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess I'm placing this more north than east of Fuji, but yeah, maybe. Because I'm assuming there aren't going to be a bunch of big lakes. So, okay, yeah. Yeah, maybe this is that same lake. Like, maybe the loop road is past this little ridge right here, and then behind the camera is the stadium, maybe? Yeah, we'll have to look at the stadium shot and see. Is that in this one? No, it's not. Yeah, and then Lake Shine. This isn't the super famous one is further south and is in like the ocean. But there's a couple of these. I'm sure you guys know probably what the name of this one is. But yeah, this little lake shrine with a bunch of little wood thingies. They have a replica of this at Epcot? Really? Oh yeah, Shirahige Shrine. Let me Google that. Shirahige Shrine. Oh, is it this one? This is the one I was thinking of. Okay, yeah, maybe it is. The gate is a perfect match. Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, this is the one. I think this is the super famous one. Wow, that's a great photo. Yeah, there you go. The actual, like, these are all called Torii gates, right? The gate matches up like 1 for 1. Totally. So yeah, I guess. Yeah. There's a similar one in Hakone, but the gate looks different. Okay. So maybe they're doing like a little mix and match. So are they stones then? What's all this? I thought this was like wood from before it was underwater or something, but this kind of implies that maybe it's stones? Maybe if I do like low tide, I don't know. Because that seems to be part of it. No, those are just birds. Okay. Yeah, my initial thought was they were lanterns, but it seems dark and they're lit up, and it is a... Wow, my thing's freaking out. Hello? It doesn't know what should be on top. Windows? Stop it. Windows, please. Did it not like that? Okay, well, let's close this and reopen it. There we go. It's back. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. So they're wood on stone foundations. Some are made of stone. The cute. Yes. Yeah, I'm talking about these. The first thing I thought when I saw them was that they were lanterns, and I was like, no, they're not going to be lanterns. But maybe? I mean, do they move at all? I don't know. Because the water's moving. Oh, no, they are. Okay. Then they are lanterns. Yeah, you can see them kind of shifting a little bit. Yeah, they shift. Okay, yeah, those are lanterns. You guys might not be able to see that, but yeah. Oh, so I wonder if these light up when it gets really dark then. Although I'd be surprised. I mean, you would have to assume, right? I would think. But you would also assume that they would be lit at this point. I don't know. I hope those light up, because if all these lanterns light up around this shrine at night, holy crap, that's going to be gorgeous. Also, you can see the snowy mountains up here, and I think that's the last shot in this one. Or is there one more? Yeah, that's it. That's that one. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then this one. This is gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. We'll pop the... Yeah, get your glasses on, Luna. Get your glasses on. This just looks great. The lighting, the way it, comes through the bamboo, the density of the bamboo. This is just a treat. This all looks lovely. I again wonder how we will traverse this, because I would assume that all the bamboo's gotta be destructible then, because if it's not, this would be a nightmare. But maybe it's all off road, so I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, no, the way the sun like comes through the leaves, yeah, is beautiful in this shot. I'll let it like play through a little here. Ugh. You look at, you can even see like little leaves dancing across the road, or the path more like. That just looks fantastic. What a shot. Look at how I don't know, have we ever seen, well, yeah, I think in Horizon 5, like in a sandstorm. I was gonna say, have we ever actually seen the trees move in reaction to wind? Because you can see here, like everything bows in the direction of the wind, which is really pretty. But yeah, we see that a little bit in Horizon 5. Ugh. So pretty. So pretty. Yeah, I guess you can see it here too. You know, I haven't really clocked that in this trailer. I've only watched this one like twice, so. But yeah, this all just looks fantastic. Yeah, you can see it here as well. The trees like bow in the wind. This is such a good shot, by the way. But yeah, here we've got a little cafe. I don't know what that says, but I'm guessing it says something along the lines of cafe. Foliage looks great. Everything looks good. Nothing too much to point at this. But yeah, the wind. Yeah, it looks so good. Frostbite. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, we got in fall, like there'd be leaves. You could kick up leaves and stuff. But yeah, it does say cafe. Yeah, I would imagine so. This is awesome. This is potentially one of my favorite shots. Here, you know what I can do? Boop. Take a screenshot. Zoom in on the screenshot. There we go. Cause yeah, look at this road. Ugh. What a beautiful road through the mountains. This just looks like a dream. Yeah, this like shallow river bay or riverway, whatever. Riverbed, I think is what I was trying to say. Yeah, come on down to the cafe. Oh, Kyle. Oh yeah, that's a different one. That looks also very similar. Huh. Oh, that's at Epcot. Oh, I see. Yeah, I see the big globe in the background. Yes. Huh. It's funny. I've been to Epcot and I don't remember seeing that, but I was also very young. Anyway, yeah, this road looks great. I have very fond memories of driving roads like this in places like Colorado, where you've got like a river that kind of cuts through the mountains, and then you have a road that just kind of trails along it. And this is pretty much exactly that, and I love it, and this looks great, and I'm super stoked. Yeah, this just looks, it's such a pretty shot. Shows off like how much elevation there's gonna be in the map too. Like this camera is so high up. Yeah, and then like, yeah, I don't know, man. It looks like hell for Eliminator. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. You can even see, I think there's a road like way off here. I think that's probably another road, but I mean, whatever. Actually, I wonder if all this, yeah, I wonder if this is drivable. There is like a very distinct kind of tree line here and some interesting shapes. I don't, my guess is maybe no, but yeah, I wonder how much of this is drivable, like in this area over here. Yeah. Anyway, I love that shot. Really, really love that shot. Hot dog, that's fair. I generally recommend, never pre-order, but like, I get it. I get it. If I were not a Forza creator, I'd be pre-ordering this. 100%. This is also just lovely with the rain. Some people pointed out that there aren't raindrops, which they might be right about. I see like static raindrops. But yeah, oh no, I take that back. I do see a couple raindrops hitting the road. Yes. Oh, 100% I do. Yeah, 100%. Now that I'm seeing it, I see it. There are absolutely raindrops hitting the road. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, that's good. I think just in the lower quality videos, it's hard to see. Oh, and then it just kind of like bugged out there. But yeah, you can see it like really clearly kind of over here, and then there's a couple of them over here. Yeah, they're just blurry, and you know, the video I'm sure has been processed and, you know, bitrate and blah blah blah. But yeah, this also looks lovely. God, what a shot this is too, man. Holy cow. I just love the low layers of fog here. I'm so curious if this is going to be a seasonal thing. I'm curious how dynamic this will be, or if it's going to be like, it'll always be like this. This is a very new effect, though. I don't think any of the only other Horizon game that, like, in theory would have done this is 4. Yeah, I'm still on the second clip, Kyle. But yeah, I don't think we've ever seen like a fog layer like this in another game. This is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. We've seen this in a handful of shots, but I love it and it's beautiful. This shot is way in the west, close to as far as we'll be able to get. Fuji should be behind and to the left. To the west, really? Interesting. So, I mean, obviously you see a road going down, and the road goes down here. So are you saying then in theory that, like, these mountain ranges will or won't be? Because there's, like, 3 ranges. There's, like, 1, 2, 3. Is the thought that maybe, like, we'll be able to kind of drive down in here? But then maybe, like, one of these will be the barrier? When I look at this, I see like the snowy peak being the border. Like, my guess is you'll be able to drive over here. Not that that's based on anything real. Oh, you know what I see? Hold on. Enhance. It's time to enhance. That looks like a building. Right? It's very hard to see. I think that's a building up there. Some sort of, like, structure. Maybe? The color's not too off. It's just this... Yeah, something about this does not look like it's part of the mountain range. Maybe it's just that it's different? Yeah, maybe... It's tough. That could just be, like, stone. Like, a darker stone. Yeah, I don't know. When you look at it zoomed out, though, it looks like there's something. Like this specifically, but yeah, maybe I take that back. Because it's very much the same color as this and this. Oh, wait, you guys can't really see that one. It's very much the same color as this and this. So yeah, you know what? I take that back. That might not be a building. I think that's just stone from far away that's been... Yeah, I mean, I see it, like, there's a very sharp line right here. And this almost looks like some sort of, like, cone. Like a castle kind of thing, but I think that's just the compression of the video kind of playing tricks on us. Yeah. Also up here looks very pyramid-y. That's actually a little bit strange. Are there any, like, mountain pyramids up north in Japan? Because that looks kind of weird. If you look at the whole rest of... I think you could excuse it away pretty easily. But yeah, that is a little bit odd how, like, there's a lot of detail here. And then it's like bump, 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 bump. Like 2, like, very distinct pyramids. I'm sure it is LOD shenanigans, but it does look a little bit weird. I don't know about that. There might be something. Yeah, X-Files theme.mp3, right? Um, hmm, hmm. Yeah, we'll see. Um, anyway, another very pretty shot. Very pretty shot. Yeah, I'm curious, like, how much of all this is drivable. The assumption is obviously that, like, this won't be, but yeah. Yeah. All right, back to it. And this has me so excited too. So they picked some good ass shots. I'll be honest. I think if I go a little further, it pulls the focus back. Yeah, there we go. I mean, gosh dang, what a beautiful. I mean, obvious. Anyone, as soon as you hear, yeah, the game's gonna be in Japan, anyone could have told you this is gonna be a scene that we'll have in the game. Like, very like low overhanging cherry blossoms with them all over the road. I do see an unfortunate like level of detail issue there, but you know, whatever. Um yeah, this is just so pretty. I'm very excited to drive on this road. Yeah, boy, do I want to kick up all those pedals with an R32. Oh yeah. And you will. I'm sure you drive through this and it's just going to be like whoosh, whoosh, like it's going to be great. Again, like great density for the foliage. Like look at the it's hard to see cuz it's a little bit dark, but like the moss or the ivy kind of like growing over the barrier walls there. It just looks really good. It's a very like dense and well detailed scene for being, you know, comparatively like a simple scene. It's just very pretty. Yeah, I have no idea. It looks like a parking lot or something at the end of the road there. I can't really tell what that is. Looks like a parking lot or something. And then this is the final shot, right? Yeah. So this is like the big tease shot is what this is. Yeah, this is interesting. So I can pull my camera out because it's not like I'm really blocking anything on this one. Oh, Wyvern says it might be outskirts of Tokyo for that cherry blossom shot. Yeah, maybe. I mean, you do have a little bit of infrastructure going on. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that could be anywhere, but yeah. I actually like seeing the map and LOD weirdness because it shows they didn't turn up graphics to unreasonable levels for the trailer. Fair, yeah, fair. This is our first look at Horizon 6's stadium, which is kind of crazy. I guess, and we had a little talk about this on the Discord because I kind of fell into like the Japan trap of being like, oh, well, if this is a stadium, it has to be a real stadium that really exists in Japan. But it's really not. I did some Googling and everybody else did Googling and stuff as well. And some people compared it to, I think it was like a stadium they built for the Olympics, or it's called like the National Stadium or something. Because in a slight way, the supports look kind of similar. So like maybe there's some architectural influence. But as far as I think anybody else can really say, it's a completely bespoke stadium. Like it is very much just its own stadium. Apparently cherry blossoms aren't everywhere. It would look cool, but I hope they don't slap them all over the place. No, I don't think they will. I think they'll probably turn it up a little bit, but like, and we actually talked about this a while ago. Japan legitimately does go nuts for cherry blossoms. They plant them everywhere. If you go to like a park in Japan, it's gonna have cherry blossoms. And they're like just all over. Japan, like the whole like festivals surrounding cherry blossoms in Japan, it's a very real thing. So Japan, like legit, like that. I know it's a trope. It's very much like a trope that Japan like loves, you know, cherry blossoms. But like, no, they really do. Like they are just all over the place. There's big festivals about them. Like Japan loves cherry blossoms. So yeah, do I think like Horizon's gonna like turn up the cherry blossom factor a little bit? Probably, because like they're pretty and they're iconic Japan things. But like Japan legit just does go nuts for cherry blossoms, and they're all over the place. So it's very like valid. It is very valid. I'm okay with there being a lot of cherry blossoms because it's It's not inherently unrealistic. But yeah. Yeah. Dobby, yeah, maybe. But anyway, no cherry blossoms in this scene. At least maybe it's a different season. But yeah, not everywhere all the time. Well, I mean, yeah, they only bloom in the spring anyway. But yeah, for all we know, like there are cherry blossoms down here. It's just not they're just not like in season. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, this is our stadium. It's interesting. So yeah, Horizon 5 was, I guess, the first game to do a stadium. And I guess they've just decided, hey, we're doing it again. This is like now a staple of the games. Um, so yeah, I mean that's that. I'm curious if they'll do something more with it, or if this is just gonna be, yeah, this is here. We'll do the same thing and do the screenshot. It looks like there's a big parking lot in front of it as well. Boop, right here. Which is cool. It looks like instead of having like a bunch of parking around the whole stadium, it's one big parking spot in front of the stadium, which I actually think I like more. It kind of, I'm sure this is probably going to be a parking meet, or a car meet spot. But yeah, I hope they do some cooler stuff with this. The Papa Fernando Memorial Arena. Yeah, I mean, I hope they do something more interesting with it this time around. I remember, oh yeah. If you zoom in, it's most definitely, it's a stadium. Yeah, I know there was some conversation about this. Like, if you saw it from far away, it looked like maybe it could be the loop road. But no, yeah, it's definitely a stadium. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't know. I hope they just do something more interesting with it. Oh yeah, I remember in Horizon 5, early on in the Horizon 5 press cycle, I was all excited about the stadium because I was like, oh, it's gonna be such a cool like hub for changing events, and they can like have big advertisements on billboards outside the stadium that like advertise what's going on. And then it just kind of was like, whatever. Like they did some cool things in the stadium, but yeah, like Beto was saying, a lot of the time it was just empty. It was just this big empty space with nothing in it. So yeah, I hope they have a better plan for this. I really hope they have a better plan for this for Horizon 6, because I don't want this to just be like a big space with nothing to do. I guess the nice thing, it will be nice for Event Lab. It is nice to have... Wait, really, Brainbow? Oh my god, I didn't know that. Brainbow says the ball wasn't even synced. I always had it in my head that like, well, I'm sure there's some people out there that are like, oh, haha, we'll play soccer with like, that's hilarious. I didn't know that. Oh, hey, by the way, Puzzle, now that I see you in here, Puzzle, I think you gifted, or you cheered. Yeah, you cheered 750 bits. I think was that when I was offline? Thanks for that. One way or another, I didn't notice you do that. And then I like signed on to stream and I was like, Puzzle Slayer gifted, did 700. Thanks. I appreciate that. Sorry, I don't know if you were trying to like keep that on the down low because you did it when I was off stream, but I noticed and I appreciate it. Thanks a bunch, man. Anyway, yeah, I had to call that out because I popped the name in chat and it came up. Yeah, a little sneaky tip. Exactly. Anyway, yeah, very seriously, thank you. But yeah, I don't know. I hope there is more of a gameplay reason to go here. It is always nice for Event Lab to have a stadium. I think that's just a good thing. I think the parking lot looks more interesting because it looks like a big open parking lot, maybe with some like, you know, little curbs and landscaping in some spots, but I think that looks a little better. We'll see. We will see. But yeah, that's the last shot of that one, which is kind of, I think, realistically like our biggest shot of anything. Where is that? Oh, there it is. I think that's kind of the biggest shot of the three, is this. Because this like implies a lot. This gives away a lot. In the fact that like, hey, we're getting a new big stadium. Yeah, right, crazy. Yeah, I really, really hope. Like, we could get time attack stuff in there. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of things they could do with that space. It's just a question of will they. The least used Event Lab feature is custom rules in playground games. Even I haven't used it. I didn't even know that was possible to have custom rules in playground games. Huh. Yeah, I mean, I was just talking. Was it? I was just talking to someone. I think it might have been. I think it's the same. Yeah, it is the same person I'm thinking of. That might be in chat. Well, I don't think I've seen their name today. There is, yeah, like custom rules are cool and they're a very detailed feature. They're kind of broken in some ways, but I do fear that custom rules are going to get cut for 6 because no one used them. Like Brainbow, you are one of like maybe 50 people ever that like actually had an understanding of how to use the custom rules. I can think of off the top of my head like maybe 5 or 6 people total that had like a good understanding and good understanding of the custom rules and was able to do cool stuff with them like the devs intended. Most people just ignored it completely. So yeah, like I used them to a small degree. Kyle, yeah, I'm sure you used them to a small degree. And like especially early on, people played with them a little bit. And I did light things with them, but to use it to the extent of like building out your own game mode, like Rainbow's taxi simulator thing, obviously Barbie cart, like some like that's like a use of an understanding of the rule set that almost nobody ever had. Yeah, exactly, Rainbow. Right. A lot of people did that. Little tweaks to gravity, little tweaks to power, like some people figured out how to make like pits, like working pit stops and stuff like that. But yeah, to use it to the extent that you did, Rainbow, is almost nobody had that good of an understanding of it. So I think it's got to be cut. I think they're going to scale it back. I hope we still get it to some degree. I'm sure we will. It's either going to be like completely untouched or they're going to have it like way scaled down is my guess. Yeah, well that's the thing, Kyle, is it didn't encourage you to spend time working on it because it was buggy. Like it would break a lot of the time, like the logic would break, the timers didn't work if you like paused or rewound the game. It would like get buggy in big group sizes. It would lag in bigger group sizes or with more complex rules. Yeah, it was kind of a mess. So like it had a lot of issues. And so it just didn't encourage you to learn it because it was so frustrating. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Anyway, this is our next trailer. This is lovely. I don't think this is gonna be a player house. My guess is that this. I mean, maybe this is the starter house. Because there is like space for a car, but like where would your garage be unless maybe the first house doesn't have a garage? We don't exactly know how that's gonna work, but I don't think this is a player house. God, the music's so good in this. It is interesting they spend 2 shots on it, though. I will say that. So, like, maybe this is a player house. Or maybe this is, like, one of the characters' houses or something. The fact that they do 2 shots, even though that one's short, is a little interesting. Like, a little bit of extra focus. Yeah, I know. Garage? Crazy. Yeah, the only reason I think it won't be a player house is because it doesn't have space for a garage. And my thinking is that every house has space for a garage. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Or maybe there's like a 1-car garage. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it is a player house or some house of some significance. Where's the scooter in shot 2? Ooh. You're right. The scooter's gone in the other shot. Huh. Fucker stole it. Yeah, because it 100% should be there. Because you can see like this little like grain of, you know, sand, whatever this is, this like sack. It's like through the bike tire. The other camera's like right here. Yeah. So in the scooter should be literally right here. Now, the boring answer to this is that they just used dev tools to remove the prop because it just didn't look good in the shot and they wanted to like show it. But that is a little interesting, actually. Huh. Fernando stole it. Huh. Because it should definitely be there. I think there's probably a very boring answer to that. But that's not why we're here. That's not why we're yapping. That's not why we're yapping. Yeah, that's also, what is that under? What's all this garbage? Hold on, let's enhance. What's all that? Oh, what the heck? Oh, hold on. There we go. What it? Oh, it's the backside of the tarp. Oh, I see it now. I see the picture now. Okay. This looked like some like weird webbing, like I could, yeah, it's just the fact that the light's hitting it. It's just the fact that the light's hitting it. It's the backside of the tarp. Okay, never mind. I see that now. Check the roof. Maybe the scooter's up there. And this is the, yeah, 100% this is the same house. 100%. Yeah. That's Chris. Yes, that's exactly what it looked like. Yes, it looked like 3D printer supports. Yeah, you got some tree supports going on under there. That's 100%. Thank you. I like had a, yes, that was buried deep in my mind. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, that is a little interesting. It's interesting. They open on this shot. They spend 2 shots on it, and in one of the shots, the bike's not there. And yes, yeah, the top of the shot, you guys were bringing this up as well. Up here, there's a retaining wall. So the implication is maybe that there's a road right there. Yeah, right. The road's visible through the spokes. Wait, on the second shot? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah, there's a road right here. Maybe that's what you guys were saying in the chat. Yeah, so it is like right next to the road. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, maybe it is a player house. That's what Doc's been talking about. Okay, yeah, I did not catch that there's a road right here. Okay. Here, let me pop my camera away again. Yeah, interesting. I'm very curious if this turns out to be a player house or if it's just literally a random house in the middle of nowhere. Which I think it very well could be. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Beto, it totally could be. Yeah, that's another good guess. Is that it could be a place where you find a used car or something. Yeah, I think that's also a good guess. Anyway, we'll move on to the next one. This is cool, because this, I believe, and Doc/others, you guys can confirm, this is the, like, one of the first things we ever saw about the game. I tweeted about it a little bit ago. Yeah, right here. Oh, well, no, wait, actually, that's different. Right? Wait, where's the video? Oh, yeah, that's different. Never mind. Yeah, in my head, I never, like, went and verified this, but in my head, when I looked at this, or sorry, when I looked at this, I was like, oh, yeah, it's this. But no, it's definitely not. Those are different. That's a different bridge. Anyway, so that's cool. So yeah, that's a different area. We do need a Horizon 6 bridge tier list. Yeah, and yeah, it's a different train line because you can see the supports for that. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Dragon says, all right, we've now devolved, guys, into train talk. Oh, and I will say, you know what? I was pointing out that it's weird they spent 2 shots on this house. They do it here as well. Yeah, they're doing it a lot in this one. So I take that back. It's not as abnormal because they do it here, and then there's that little cluster of blue flowers, and then they zoom right into them. But anyway, yeah. So that's, I don't know. It's a pretty shot. It's a very pretty shot. Do we have asymmetrical suspension bridges? Yeah, those are goated bridges, bro. Yeah, this looks nice. I'm curious if we'll be able to drive up on this. Yeah, nothing too much to point out at. Again, more rain. Here you can see the raindrops really well. Yeah, now you guys can actually see those probably through the video. If you just look in this little pathway. Dang, that looks good. Yeah, and so we've got like a little kind of panning across the field here. And then we kind of go over and we look at this house. Also, I will say the rain looks really good. They've been showing off a lot in this scene, or in this video. The way it like fogs the distance. Man, it looks good. I really hope we get some like good vibey rain. It certainly looks like it. Fused. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, a little house. Pretty little. Maybe this is another player house. Again, I kind of doubt it. It doesn't look like a player house, although a lot of player houses do usually have like a fencing around them. Maybe. I mean, who knows? It could be, it couldn't be. There's really no reason to speculate. Where's this video? All over the Forza socials. So Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, so on and so forth. They've posted 3 of them, Olaf. Sorry, if you're just joining us. There have been 3 videos they've posted. They've done one a day. This is the first one they did on Monday. So yeah, go check those out. There you go. Zoom back to this one. Yeah, +1 of the R8, which is like a different thing. But yeah. In WhatsApp too. There you go. There you go. I can tell just cruising in the rain in this game is gonna have the coolest vibes. Dude, I hope so. This alone like gives me a like, ooh yeah. I just wanna drive around in the rain kind of vibe. Yeah. Just beautiful. This is also gorgeous. Again, like the foliage just looks fantastic. Beto, you think that is a player house? Maybe. I mean, yeah, it's anyone's guess. Sure. Potato Bot, that has been confirmed. I'm guessing you've seen that, but yeah, in case you haven't, we've already seen the remodeled S15. And it looks fantastic. This, again, looks great. You've got, like, a nice... Again, they're playing with the fog. Where you can see, like, this ridge very clearly is more... You know, less... I'm sure there's a term for it. But, like, there's more atmosphere, you know, between this little bit and this little bit and that little bit over there. Which looks great. Looks really dense. Looks really pretty. It's delightful. My cabbages! Get some Avatar references in there. That would actually be really funny if there's a skill, whatever they're called, like a skill perk, I guess just a skill, where if you hit these, and it's just my cabbages. Or like some other like Avatar related reference. That would be super funny. Yeah, this looks lovely. It looks like there's a road over there. No, Accolade wasn't what I was looking for, but I do think that'd be funny too. But like the skills have names, you know? Sometimes the skills have funny names, and I could see there being one that's like the My Cabbages skill. But yeah, maybe it could be an Accolade as well. Yeah, skill chain skills, sure. Oh yeah, there's a little walking path. You guys can probably not quite see that, but there's a pedestrian walking sign right there. Pedestrians confirmed. Yes, exactly like Smacktus. Yep, exactly. Maybe they won't have accolades in 6. maybe. I bet they will. Maybe they'll have like a transformed version of them. I bet there's going to be something. If we don't get accolades, there's going to be something to replace accolades. That'd be my guess. Also, hold on. I'm going to take a little water break while you guys can't see me. Plonk. Yeah, this, again, just looks absolutely delightful. And then is this? This is not... I mean, it's maybe the same area, but I don't see this space. You know what I'm saying? I don't see this space from here. From here. But I'm guessing that's probably in a pretty similar area. Here you got lots of cherry blossoms. You got your cherry blossoms littered in, but it looks delightful. Some power lines up there. You got obviously Fuji in the background. You do have a road over here off to the corner. Yeah, nothing too much. Nothing too much. Yeah, I don't think they'll remove accolades and not replace them with something at the very least. This is also very pretty. I wonder if this is... Now, I doubt this is like the other side of that same village we saw in the other one. I think this is probably just like another small little village. Yeah, you got cute little... Here, hold on. Let me get out my Google Translate. Let's see what the sign says. Translate. I'm sure it just says, like, restaurant or something like that. Pedro, oh, dude, we've been talking about it for, like, the last hour, probably. Camera. Translate for me, please. What does it say? Aha! Yes, that. Now tell me what it says. It's like finding it, and it's like, oh yeah, this is Japanese text. And then it just doesn't do anything. Yes, translate it. Oh, family dinner. There you go. It says family dinner, apparently. Wait, hold on. Family meal. Wait. Hold on. There we go. Well, now it says family history. Who knows? Grok removed the blur. There you go. It could be either. Yeah, I love these little, like, fish wind socks, whatever you want to call those. I'm sure they have a prettier name. Those are pretty. Again, the houses look nice. Roses look fine. What did I say? Roses? I think I said roses. Roads look fine. You got a little vending machine. Houses look great. Yeah. Detail looks nice. Again, same kind of power pole. Different power pole. Oh. Again, oh, you've got another? Oh, for people who want to lose their mind. Hold on. Enhance. Grok, enhance. Look what we have here. Oh, Dot Sky. Yeah, we've been doing that for weeks. We've got another sport bike. There it is. Crotch rocket number 2 confirmed. Now, the real question is, you have 2 paths, young Forza player. You can go, oh, okay, that just confirms that it's just a prop. Because here you can clearly see it in the open world, just leaning up against a building. That's path 1. Path 2 is, aha, they sneakily put it here on purpose, right? Almost out of the way, where you can just barely see it, as a subtle tease to the fact that bikes are going to be in the game. You choose the path. The choice is yours. Yeah, Reddit-ass take, right? But yeah, I guess you can see another bike there, another little crotch rocket, which is 100% definitely undeniably a clue that we're going to be getting bikes in Horizon 6. Yeah, but bikes are confirmed in the game. Now, whether or not you can drive them, that's another question. Oh, look at that. Okay, I see ice cream right there. I see ice cream. So that's totally like a restaurant. Cause that looks like a little thing of ice cream right there. It's blocked by something. But that's totally like ice cream overflowing a cone or something like that. Ruse. Yeah, there are well, I guess there's not, because there was a K truck in the first one. But you're right. You are right. I hope we can get things from these vending machines. I want to be able to get out of my car, get a nice hot coffee from a vending machine, and then continue on my way in true Japan lore accuracy. Yeah. And I think there's one more shot after that. Yeah. Yeah, they're just props. They're just props. I mean, maybe for what it's worth, the 2 times we've seen them, they've been like very cleverly hidden in the shot. I will say, like, I don't want to entertain the theory too much, but I will say that the 2 times we've seen motorcycles in the shot, it's not like they've just like been there. They've been pretty hidden. So, I don't know. Put on your tinfoil hats, guys. I really need to actually get a tinfoil hat, so that we can do that bit IRL. Yeah, and then here we go. Similar shot. I guess that's actually no. That's not a train line. That's just a normal highway, a little raised highway over the rice paddies or whatever it is. I do have tinfoil. That's what I'm saying. I gotta I should go do that. Like, go make a tinfoil hat for real. They still didn't confirm will there be ray tracing in the gameplay and not just in the garage. Yeah, PC players already have ray tracing in the open world. So I don't think there's any reason. I guess it's really just a question about Xbox. I think it's just a question about Xbox is, will there be ray tracing in game? Yeah. True question, are we going to race against John Forza? Probably, yeah. Does it count that motorcycle engines already exist in Forza? Yeah. Yeah, you can turn on ray tracing in the settings if you have a capable card in Horizon 5. The ray tracing in open world is a mod? I don't think so. It might be a component of the ray tracing. I think there might, like, maybe it's the, like, you know, some form of ray traced reflections, but I'm almost positive, and I could be wrong about this, but I feel like I remember they added a PC setting where if you turn ray tracing to ultra, it turns it on in the open world in Horizon 5. Yeah, Brainbow says I use ray tracing in the open world in Horizon 5. Ami says yes. Yeah, I think I know it wasn't the case at launch. It was something they like added later where you could turn ray tracing like on or off and it wouldn't work in the open world. But then they added a feature where if you turned it to ultra, it turned it on in the open world. I'm fairly certain about that. I think so. And then yeah, ray tracing in Motorsport is supposed to be a thing, but it was like just always broken. Oh, Ami, yeah, there you go. Okay, Ami has an article about it. That's what. Oh, so it's extreme. Yeah. So this is the new thing. So, can I copy paste this onto the next other computer? Yeah. No. But anyway, yes, this confirms it. Yeah, full resolution ray tracing, including AI cars, does exist in free roam races as long as you are on the extreme setting in Horizon 5. The ultra setting gives you half resolution ray tracing. And then, yeah, high, medium, and off are just photo mode or Forza Vista. So yeah, there you go. Oh, sorry. Actually, you don't get full resolution, including AI cars in the open world. Ever. That's only in photo mode. That's only ever in photo mode. You get full resolution on your car with the extreme. I read the dots wrong. But anyway, yeah, that came, I don't know, a year or two after launch, maybe. So yeah, I don't think there's any reason that won't exist in game, because it already exists in Horizon 5, and it technically exists in Motorsport. So, and Xbox loves their, ray tracing and all that stuff. It's a bit like advertising thing. Anyway, that's our last shot, and there's not really too much to point at. Again, similar shots of the mountains. We're kind of looking more east here, I think. I think this is like looking northeast is my guess. But yeah, they won't use ray tracing for everything. You can still see SSR in the trailer. I can tell from reflection artifacting at the screen. Yeah, I suppose that would be a good thing to look at. You can kind of see what techniques they're using for reflections. Trying to like see in some of the water, maybe. Because, yeah, SSR, I feel like you can tell a lot of times. But I don't know. It's not like I'm an expert at it. Yeah, get the compass out. Get the compass out. Yeah, we'll see. I don't need them to do ray tracing on everything for the environment, because it's a huge performance hit for, what? Oh, the last screenshot had a clear view of SSR. Oh, you're saying like this right here? You're saying the fact that it like kind of fades out right there? Yeah, sure. I gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so there you go. Screen space reflections. Yeah. So far, yeah, so we don't see traffic in any of these shots. We have not seen traffic in any footage at all. They've been, my guess is that it's a licensing thing, or it's just that the traffic's not done yet. I will say, and this is kind of insider info, that Horizon 5, the traffic was one of the last things they figured out. I do know that. I do know that in Horizon 5, one of the last things they like actually locked in was like traffic AI and traffic density and traffic cars and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if it just legitimately wasn't ready yet. I think the same thing shows in Horizon 5. Like when you look at the early Horizon 5 footage, I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. Like you technically don't see cars. You technically don't see traffic. And then, yeah, if you look at all this footage where you think there's traffic, it's always a player car. At least that's the assumption. Like the Tokyo shot is the... Oh, yeah, there's the S15 for whoever was talking about it. That's the new S15 model. Past this. Yeah, this. So all of this, you can actually see down here, it's not traffic. Those are all actual players. So yeah, they've been cagey about that. They've been a little cagey about it. Like you can see here, every single car actually is a player. So we have really no idea what the traffic is actually going to look like. Yeah, we have no idea. And what my guess is, this is like a total outsider guess, is that puzzle. Yeah, so that shot, where is that? Is that further in? I know it's also near Tokyo. Is it like right before? Yeah, this. The running assumption is that these cars... Wait for her to talk. Yeah, the running assumption is that like all of these cars are also also players. Yeah. That's kind of the running assumption. I guess as far as I know, there's no like solid confirmation of that. But I think like elsewhere in the footage, you can see that like one of the K cars is a car or something like that. Yeah, there's a chance it could be. I just don't think it is. Yeah. Yeah, we get some highway shots, but there's like an S13 and like an MR2 or something. I don't think this has any traffic. I think it's just the two Civics. Yes. Um yeah, where is that shot that just has the like traffic driving? Yeah, here. This. Again, the assumption is that these are all player cars as well. Yeah, the running assumption is that none of this is actually traffic. Yeah, and part of that is because we've never seen more than 12 cars too. Yeah, that's also the case. So yeah. I used to use two third-party apps to get adaptive triggers. Oh, that's a different conversation. But you did ping me above. Did you hear anything about adaptive trigger support? Haven't looked in. I'm lazy and I've watched it. No, I have not heard anything about that. I don't think they've said anything about that yet. Yeah, that's as far as I know. Yeah, one of the K cars is a car. No, like a player car, not a traffic car. It is a little bit interesting because you do see the K cars get yellow K plates and the other ones don't. You can also see that in this shot. Or it's not this one. I mean, I guess technically. Oh yeah, we're right there. Actually, literally right here. Hold on, let's just confirm this. Yeah, so that blue K truck right there is a player car because that's the vehicle that's driving past. That's that blue dot. So that's why people are assuming that in the other shots it's the same case. And you can also see there's two cars right here. That is, sorry, I don't know why the bitrate. That is this car and the like Montero, the Mitsubishi Montero or whatever it is right here. So yeah, in this shot, the two blue K trucks that you see drive by are player cars. Like 100% because they've got the blue or not the blue, the open circle. Same thing with the Montero, and then every other car that drives by again is a player car. Again, you can see a red 240, and again that is a player car. So yeah, that's that. That is that. Yeah. Why don't they have nameplates then? I think that's just because of dev things. I think so. What they're doing here is giving you the illusion that it's traffic. The traffic's not ready, so they're giving you the illusion of traffic by probably just using dev tools to turn off the name tags. Like I really think that's all there is to it. You can obviously see that they are players down here. Yeah. You can turn nameplates off. Well, yeah, but there are some nameplates. Like I don't think you can, as the POV, you can turn off nameplates for everyone else, but you can't like selectively turn them off. But that is now, I'm not saying necessarily, oh, that's another shot where there's a little bit of like pretend traffic. I'm not saying necessarily that these are directly like a bunch of people trying to drive the cars nicely. What I am saying though is this is definitely not the actual traffic. I think this is like just dev tools. I think this is just dev tools to like probably get a car, like rudimentary traffic system going and all that. But yeah, I can pretty much say confidently that I don't think this is what the real traffic will look like. We may end up getting these for, I think we're 100% going to get K trucks as traffic cars. Like there's no way we won't. But I just know I just think, yeah, right. I think these are like some form of scripted drive-atar, or maybe it is, it's not the real traffic. They're doing some sort of something trickery to like make it look like traffic without actually having the traffic system in place yet. So yeah, I mean, who knows? And yeah, this could also that's also a big thing we're saying. This could be a pretty old build for all we know. We have no idea. They'll probably never say. But yeah, like this build that they filmed this on could be, you know, weeks, months, whatever old. We have really no idea. And maybe like now they have a better traffic system, like who knows. But my guess is the reason they usually leave traffic for the end is because it's a good performance tool where they try to get everything as optimized as they can, and then at the very end they inject traffic, and they can use traffic density as a good slider to like get more performance out of the game. So if they're like below their target for performance, or I guess if they haven't met their performance target as well as they wanted to, they can like scale back the traffic density a little bit and it won't affect anything else. Or if they have a little bit more overhead and they're noticing like even in busy scenes it's okay, they can like crank up the traffic density a little bit. That's my guess. I could be totally wrong about that. That's based on no real information. but yeah, I think that's kind of why they leave it for the end, is because it's a really easy like performance tuning tool. Virtually we haven't seen any traffic NPCs yet. No, I don't think we have. Yeah, I my understanding is that we actually haven't seen any traffic yet. Yeah. Traffic isn't very heavy if you do it right. Yeah, but who knows how they do it? Who knows how optimized the traffic is? We'll see. And I think just like because it's physically rendered objects, because the traffic like does have a basic AI attached to it, it is a relatively detailed model, and like it does have to behave and react to physics and also be synced between players. I think that kind of makes it have at least some sort of performance overhead. I mean, obviously everything has some sort of performance overhead, but I think it's maybe an issue for them. That's my guess. Because we know they've had issues with traffic in the past with like syncing the traffic and all that. So maybe it's more not like a local performance issue, but like a server performance issue, like making sure the traffic is synced for everybody. Who knows? Who knows? The way they handle traffic AI is very cheap. We don't know though. I mean, the AI inherently, sure. But like they do use turn signals. They are physically rendered. You can hit them, they respond. Like there's still a lot of physics going on, even if it's not like hyper realistic. And maybe it's just inefficient. Maybe the way they have it, the scripts are just not very efficient for all we know. But yeah. I don't think the navigation is necessarily what it is either. I think it's loading another vehicle model with physics in the world. So we'll see. And again, you got to build for worst possible case. You have to build for like 12-player convoy in the middle of the city with traffic cars. And that's a lot of stuff happening on screen where they have to like still match a performance target and make sure it's like stable at 60. But yeah. They should overtake you if you're stopped this time around. Whoa. Let's not get crazy. Let's not get crazy. Yeah. Will we discuss about the leftover car badges textures from Motorsport? I don't know what you mean, I guess, Beto. These possible cars join in Horizon 6. What do you mean by the leftover car badges from Motorsport? Posted in the Discord earlier. Where? Where in the Discord? Yeah. Okay. Get out of the car and do road rage. What if that's how it's revealed? What if that's how it's revealed to us, that you can get out of cars? You can fight traffic. They get out, you get out. You have a little beat down. We thought this whole time they were using Fable animations just for walking. They're actually using Fable for fighting. Uh, okay. What is this? Do I need to translate this? Uh, a list of leftover badge textures from Motorsport contains 3 cars that existed in the Horizon 6 trailer and car list: Alpha Julia, Honda City, Honda E. So what is this? Hey, Outback Wilderness. It'd be cool to get those in the game. Are these unused things from Motorsport? Okay. Leftover unused car badge textures. Uh sure. I mean, yeah, I don't really think this means much of anything besides, I guess, maybe we'll see some of these cars. Obviously, we got the Honda City. But yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with like Horizon 5. Like Horizon 5, if you did a lot of data mining, in Horizon 5 there were a lot of cars that like never made it into the game. Uh Same thing here. You know, it just means it never worked out with licensing, really, is all I get from that. Or they changed plans, maybe the car like wasn't ready in time. Like maybe they built the Honda City for Motorsport and then they were like, "Ah, hey, well, Motorsport's dead anyway. We're going to move over to do Horizon." It's Japanese heavy aside from the German and Chinese cars. I don't think that means anything. Yeah, I guess why would they be in Motorsports files then? I guess, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it means anything really. Outside of like, hey, we tried to build them for Motorsport and it didn't work out for one reason or another. I don't think they like I don't think they like built the cars in Horizon or in Motorsport to like test them for Horizon or anything. If that's the implication, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's just in any game, if you dig through the files, you're going to find a lot of stuff that is left over, stuff that just got left on the cutting room floor. And I think that's really probably all this is. And then, the hope is that some of it will make its way to Horizon, which obviously the Honda City did. Yay. But yeah, that's that. It's a shared resource they can use across games. I don't really think so. Again, I don't think they would put something in Motorsport if they didn't plan to put it in Motorsport. That doesn't really make sense. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. And again, like same thing with Horizon 5. Horizon 5 has all sorts of cars that never made it into the game, and that doesn't like mean they were in Motorsport. It just means they never made it into the game. Yeah, licensing stuff. That's really all it means to me. Is just licensing stuff. I would love if we got a Subaru. I saw the Wilderness logo. I did see the Wilderness logo as part of that. So I'd love it as a Subaru guy. Yeah, I'd be stoked if we got like an Outback Wilderness. That would be great. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what would it be, an Outback? How there's a Wilderness Crosstrek. There's a Wilderness Forester. Maybe it'd be like the Wilderness Forester. I don't know. No, I don't think Fujimi Kaido will be in the map. I think it'd be fun. I think it's a cool idea, but I don't think they're just gonna like port Fujimi into the map directly. I do think a lot of the stuff, a lot of like the textures and asset work and stuff from Fujimi are gonna be also in Horizon. But yeah, I don't think like Fujimi 1-for-1 is gonna be in Horizon. I don't think so. Yeah. Yes, Outback does have a Wilderness. Yeah, Fujimi Kaido is very big. Yeah, it's yeah. I think they're gonna keep that one to Motorsport. I think that's where it dies. Unfortunately, it would be cool though. Maybe we get it as like a DLC. I think that's more likely. I think maybe we see it like whenever we get a DLC for Horizon 6. Maybe they'll like do a Fujimi Kaido central DLC. Maybe. But I still don't think that's likely. I think that would be a fun idea. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, dudes. I think that's kind of that. I think we actually in good time wrapped up our Horizon yapping. There's a little bit to pull off of here. Oh, wait. Pause. We got 2 more things, actually. We actually have 2 more things. One of them will be quick. One of them I do want to look at a little bit more. Yeah, they're also starting to do cars. So here you go. The R8 V10. Not too much to pull from besides the car itself. The car looks nice. But yeah, there you go. This was just posted a couple hours ago. I hope we get more of these as well. More shots like this. It looks great. Yeah, behold, motor vehicle. Behold, a car. Yeah, it looks nice. Nothing really more to say. The lighting looks fantastic, I will say, in this shot. I think so, anyway. Yeah, there you go. Yep, it's a new to Horizon car. Yeah, I hope we get more. I'm very curious what all this is ramping up to, if anything. The assumption is that, you know, if you want to keep an eye out for these videos, pay attention tomorrow morning. They've been posting them at like between 8 and 9 my time in the morning. And I think the assumption is that there's going to be at least 2 more. And then maybe it ends in a blog post or some bigger thing or something. I think it's got to be leading up to something. I think. And then this is the only other new thing I did want to bring up. It's actually not really anything new, I don't think. I haven't read through this whole thing. But they do say 10 incredible new features coming to the game. And so I just want to read through this quick, and I figured we'll do it on stream. That's about as big as I can make it. But again, yeah, keep in mind this is all stuff that technically we already know about. Horizon 6 is coming May 19th. A few weeks ago, we introduced you to some of the new features. Whether you're only catching up with the news now or just want a refresher, this blog's for you. Number 1, world famous Japan landmarks. There we go. This is still one of the like cooler shots, I think. I'm so excited for this road, to be honest. Ugh. It just looks so good. I'm so excited to just drift that road. It's going to be lovely. As you already know, Horizon 6 takes the festival to breathtaking landscape of Japan. Tokyo City's iconic downtown area is home to iconic landmarks like Shibuya Crossing, Ginkgo Ave, and Tokyo Tower. Oh, it's interesting. They mentioned these, but they didn't specifically say Tokyo Tower, although we obviously saw it. So it's not that interesting. You also get to drive on roads inspired by the C1 Loop, as well as iconic mountain passes like Mount Haruna and Bandai Azuma, which is such a crazy... It's a crazy call out to be like Mount Haruna and Bandai Azuma. This is a little bit of a deep cut, I think, anyway. Maybe it's just different in Western culture than it is in Japan, but as far as like famous mountain roads go, this is a little bit of a deeper cut. But not that that's a bad thing. I think if anything, that's a good sign. This we get a little bit more like concrete season info. Alpine snow all year round. Seasons return for Horizon 6 with more dramatic variation than seen in Mexico. Each season is authentically represented and distinctly different, from the changing visuals of landscapes, crops, foliage, and weather to the unique and subtle soundscapes, ensuring every season carries its own feel, beauty, and personality. That's all good. And then, yeah, we get full-time snow stuff. Regardless of the current season, you can throw on some snow tires and enjoy snow year-round in Japan's mountainous alpine region. So yeah, not that was a surprise, but we'll get 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, snow time. And snow tires come back. These, yeah, are going to be like progression checks for the game. Horizon Rush is a new event type the Horizon Festival is introducing to Japan. These events invite you to show off your skills in thrilling obstacle courses featuring exciting locations, such as the Tokyo City docks. With the return of wristbands in Horizon 6, you'll need to unlock and complete each Horizon Rush event to level up and progress. Yeah, progress to become legend. Sure. This is interesting. So you guys want to see something? I think, was it Nick? Somebody pointed this out. One sec. That's the wrong file. I think I have it. Yeah. Okay. Let me... Hold on. Let me do this. And do this. And do this. Oh, why is it not letting me do it? Wait, I want to flip between them. And it's not letting me. Okay, there. Now, besides the difference in aspect ratio, there is a difference between these two photos. There's an interesting difference between these two photos, and one that's a little concerning as well. Yeah, Ash knows it. It made its rounds on Twitter. If you look at the Stagia, this is the old image. I believe this is an Autotech kit on the front bumper. And then if you go to this one, which is the new image, it is no longer the same bumper. Which makes me nervous that they did not confirm licensing for that kit. So yeah, that's concerning. Hopefully they can figure it out. Hopefully they can figure that out. And maybe it was just a temporary thing of like, ooh, hey, no, we can't show that yet. Also, it's interesting they just like had that ready. Like, it is very much the exact same shot. So they must have some like fancy dev tools to like, maybe they just like have this saved so that they can do that. It's interesting they were able to cleanly redo that. Unless maybe they had multiple versions ready to go just in case. I mean, who knows? Yeah, Fused. It very well may just be like a, hey, we don't have the licensing yet. Hey, we're not approved to show it yet, but like we're working on it. We'll get it ready for launch. But it could be worse. It could be like, oh, no, that's not gonna work. We don't have the licensing for it. So hopefully it's the lesser of two issues, and we will end up having this in game. They just there's some licensing issue with it right now. Cause yeah, I'll be sad to lose that kit. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. Anyway, back to the article. Do that. Car meets. Japan has a bunch of locations for you and your friends to meet up at. These include time attack circuits, car meets, and drag meets. All of them are integrated into the shared open world. This means you can drive past any of these meetups, see real live players, and join them instantly without any loading screens to slow you down. Which again is just kind of more wording that I'm really curious how this is gonna work. We kind of talked about our theory for it, that like, oh nice, my camera doesn't block the text. That like it's gonna be like a stand-in, like an imposter of your car in the open world, and then there will be like a server, like a stealthy server transfer as you pull into the lot to like load all the real cars, stuff like that. I'm just very curious how this is going to work, because we in theory know that there's a 12-player car limit. So what happens if you're in a 12-player convoy and you drive by a car meet? Will it just show no cars because it can't? Or will it still show a full car meet of cars even if you're in a 12-player convoy? I don't know. And that has me very curious. So yeah, I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm very curious how that's going to work. And I'm hopeful, we kind of already said this, but I'm hopeful that this means we can see more than 12 cars in the open world, even if they're like just doing the car meets. I'd love to be in a 12-player convoy, or let's just say 10-player convoy, whatever, in a convoy of people and still be able to see full car meets. I'd be so sad if when you get into a car meet, I'd be so sad if when you get into a convoy, you don't see car meets anymore. That would really bum me out. Fused, if they didn't figure out how to show more than 12 cars in a server, Horizon 6 might actually be doomed. I mean, all we've seen, every single piece of footage we've seen shows no more than 12 cars, and they have basically confirmed 12-player convoys. We pretty much have it on good authority that 12-player convoys are still locked in. The question is, yeah, like, will you be able to see more? Does that get added on to with car meets and stuff? We'll see. Anyway, yeah, this also very mild confirmation, but time attack circuits are brand new to Forza Horizon 6 with multiple tracks located across Japan. Your goal is simple: drive through the gantry, set your fastest lap time. You can arrive in any car and you'll earn credits and XP. Oh, that's kind of cool. You earn credits and XP for each lap you complete. Huh, I wonder if this will be like a good way to like grind money. Because if you're getting credits every lap, yeah, auto drive. Just turn on auto drive and just let it grind money. Oh no. Although no, that wouldn't work. Because as far as we know, auto drive only gets you point to point. It can't continue to do laps. Although that would be really funny. But yeah, this is kind of cool. It's nice, again, not that this was unexpected, but like confirmation that there's going to be multiple racetracks in the open world. Everyone's been wanting that. That was a big thing that, especially since Horizon 5 players have been talking about, is we just like want racetracks. This one, I also wonder if they're all going to be inspired by real tracks. This one's very clearly inspired by one of the Ebisu tracks. I think it's like Ebisu East. So I wonder if we'll get like a fake Suzuka or like a fake Tsukuba or a fake Fuji or, you know, something. Like, I wonder if we'll get other sort of like Temu versions of real racetracks, because I think that would be so sick. Hey, love. What's up? I don't have anything. Sorry.
Also, I'm walking out the door at like 4:15, and I just
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries. Cool. All right, bye. Ruse says hello. Ruse. No, Ruse.
Oh, hi.
She kept thinking I was saying Bruce. Anyway. Yeah, so I'm very curious. Yeah, I'm curious if we're going to get other tracks that are also inspired by real tracks, because this is very much like kinda Ebisu. Yeah. So I hope we do. I really, really hope we get like a fake Scuba. I hope so badly that we do. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to build it again. Yo, hip hop coming in with the 35. The Yap Sesh goes well. Potentially, we're wrapping up the Yap Sesh. Potentially. But we've been yapping strong for the last like 2.5 hours. But yeah, they have so many resources at the blah 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 blah. I'm not gonna say dev work is easy, but they have so many resources at their disposal. There are many open source multiplayer server options. It makes it completely insane. Oh, as far as like the convoy stuff goes, I mean, I think it's mostly the fact that you have to do like cross-play between PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. And doing that with cars is hard. It is hard. Like, I know it's always hard. It's never easy. But cars, like, you have to have such low latency. You have to be so accurate because positioning of cars matters, and like, you know, even like what way the wheels are pointing. Um and they, again, you have, like, with server stuff, you always have to account for like the lowest common denominator of like, all right, we have to account for like a Series S in South Africa on Wi-Fi needs to be able to play with like a dude 5 minutes from our studio on like a NASA PC. So it is tricky, and admittedly, Xbox as a whole is just not good at that stuff. um, so yeah, I just think it's a case of it's tricky to get three different consoles playing nicely with each other on a global scale. I think that's with how much stuff you have to sync with, you know, traffic and physics and all that jazz. Yeah, I think it's hard. Not that I'm trying to excuse it. I really want bigger convoys and I really want that stuff too. But to play a little devil's advocate. No, hip hop, we're not getting it same day. They said later this year for PS5. They said later this year. So we're getting PC and Xbox same day, May 15th or 19th, depending what version you buy. And then later this year, we'll get the PS6 version. I think just because it wasn't ready yet would be my guess. Maybe there's like a exclusivity thing, like timed exclusive, but my honest guess, well, you know, I could see it either way. I think they probably wanted to have it ready, but needed to focus on the Xbox version first and PC, because that's like their existing market. Yeah, puzzle. I don't think it'll be too. I hope it's not December 31st. I hope it's like within a 3-ish month window. Yeah, so they can still, like, it's not too far lagged behind. They didn't like miss the hype wave. You know, maybe they can like get in before the first expansion. And that's the other question, is like, we know they have 2 expansions planned already. You know, are they gonna like space those out more, do bigger ones? Who knows? Dude, hip hop, yeah, Horizon 5 sold like freaking hotcakes on PS5. The last number I saw was like 5 million copies. Let me see. Copies sold on PS5. I think it went up to like 7. Yeah, I'm seeing everything says 5. So as of I've told 2 million. Okay, yeah, like as of a month ago, they sold 5 million copies. Over 5 million. Which is crazy. Like, that game was 4 years old. And yeah, I mean, the game was 4 years old, but they sold 5 million copies in a year. Yeah, 7 whole copies, Ruse. So yeah, I don't know. It obviously did quite well. And that's why I think they probably wanted to get it ready, but they just like didn't have it out in time. It's just the PS5 version just needed to be on the back burner because ultimately they are an Xbox studio. That's my line of thinking. The year is 2002. Player amount on map is 64. The game is Battlefield 1942. True. No, I'm not saying it can't be done. I will say I do think that a shooter is probably slightly easier than a racing game. I think both absolutely have their own challenges. I don't think either is easy. But I do think cars are by far the hardest thing to do on a server. Just based on all the physics interactions and how quick everything needs to be. Anyway, hey guys, Horizon. After that Dune and Helldivers little detour, which again, both phenomenal games. Yeah, so it's interesting that you're gonna earn credits for every lap of a time attack, or time attack circuit. I hope that this is kind of a good way to make money, because we talked about this a couple streams ago. We know that these are split by class. So we know that there's going to be a D, C, B, A, S1, S2, and R leaderboard every week for these. And we know there's going to be multiple of them, so at least probably 3, which means there's at least going to be 21 leaderboards a week to go for, which I think is too much. I think they should make that like once a month or something. But we already talked about that. But if there's a good reason to do them and they're fun, then like so be it. So be it. Like if that's a good way to make money, then I'm all for it. What up, Callum? Good to see you. Good to see you. Anyway, yeah, so that's time attack stuff. This has me very excited. Car meets are places where you can show off your car's characters, download tunes and liveries, you can buy a copy. This is pretty much verbatim what we've already seen. Again, the whole characters thing has me curious. And then drag meets are shared open world drag races around Japan with 12 car slots. Again, kind of reconfirming. Yeah, Dune intermission over. Reconfirming the whole 12-player limit thing. 12 car slots at each. Get to the starting line, position the car, wait for the lights, and go. So this is for people that have missed this. They did say that the timing trees are going to work. They did say that this is like a functional thing in the game where the light trees for the drag races actually do function. And it seems like this is like an actual feature now. I am, again, really curious how all this stuff is... Yeah, Motortown ripoff. I'm really curious how this stuff is going to work, like, seamless in the open world. I hope it works. I fear it may not, but I really hope it works. Also interesting that there's multiple. I figured there'd probably just be one at the festival, but this implies that there are multiple 12-car drag meets, which is kind of cool. Like, hopefully that works out. And hopefully the people who like drag racing, which is absolutely like a core subset of the Horizon market, hopefully this gives them enough to like chew on, you know? Hopefully this gives them enough to chew on. Sorry about my dogs. Build your life in Japan. Again, I think this is all more or less stuff we've seen. Horizon 6, you'll have new ways to shape the world as you make a life for yourself in Japan. These include customizable garages, where you can freely decorate the entire space and create a showroom for your automotive collection. Really curious how many cars we can see. I think it's limited to 3, but we'll see. Oh, wait, Fused says, does that soft confirm 2+ convoy servers? You mean in the sense of like... kind of what we were talking about earlier, where like you can have a convoy and then also see the drag race stuff going on? Is that what you're saying with that, with the 12 car slots, and you'll like be able to see them in the open world? Yeah, that's the big question I have. Is like, what happens if you're in a 12-player convoy and then you go up to a car meet, or you go up to a drag race thing, or maybe even these will be... I don't know if these are like dynamic convoys too, the time attacks. I don't think so. Yeah, I hope so. I really, really hope that doesn't take away from it. We will see. We will see. Yeah, and then, yeah, build a showroom for your automotive collection. I really hope we can put more than 3 cars in the garage, but still, it's still a really cool feature. And even if it's 3 cars, it's still 3 cars. And then the estate, where you can build and decorate directly in the open world, which we spent a lot of time talking about a couple streams ago, which is very cool. You can also invite your friends to visit, and you can even download garage layouts that have been shared by the community. I'm interested about this because this implies that you can't download other people's estates, which I think would be a really good idea, because my guess is that a lot of players are never going to touch the estate, or they'll like touch it once and then be like, this is too much work, I'm not going to bother. So I think, while I do think the garage thing is really cool, the fact that they Yeah, you wouldn't download an estate. You wouldn't download a car. Um, but yeah, I'm really curious. This seems to imply to me that you cannot download other players' estates, which I think is a miss because I do think it's going to be too much for a lot of people. It's not going to affect me personally. I will use the estate. 100% I will. But I think there's a lot of people who are just going to be like, that's too much work. Like, I'd rather just download somebody else's. And I don't know if that's going to be possible. Kind of seems like it won't be. But I guess whatever. It is what it is. At what point in the story do you think we'll unlock the estate? Probably later would be my guess. I think it'll be either like a midpoint or at the end. I don't think the only reason I think it might not be at the end is because we know Legend Island is supposed to be like the big thing you get at the end of the story. So I'd be a little bit surprised if you got both Legend Island at the end of the story and the estate at the end of the story. So my guess is you'll get the estate like at a midpoint. Like they'll teach you about Event Lab and then give you the estate halfway through the game or something. And then they save Legend Island as like the big thing at the end. But who knows? Yeah, who knows? Anyway, we know you love to collaborate, so in Horizon 6, we're bringing multiplayer building to Event Lab. This is another thing that confirms 12 players. And says, note, customizable garages and the estate will only support solo building. Which is interesting. So yeah, you cannot do garages multiplayer, and you cannot do the estate multiplayer. Which, again, implies that the estate is like very much a different thing. Which is interesting. It's interesting. And then collab, you and up to 12 of your friends, or 11 of your friends, can build anything you can imagine in the open world of Japan together, which is awesome. I love that that's the case. I would have really liked to see offline editing, where you could like share the file, like have access so multiple people could access the file. But online, like Convoy Event Lab is still really good. That's a compromise I'm very comfortable with, because we could have gotten nothing. 2048. The island progression is so good. I love content that becomes available after. Dude, Plague, I'm fully with you. I love that there is a part of the game or a part of the map that is restricted until you beat the game. I think that's really cool. I love stuff like that. But yeah, it's interesting, yeah, that the garage as being solo makes sense, especially given the fact that you can download other people's. The estate being solo, I think that's got to be a technical limitation. And just the fact that the estate exists as like an open world thing. And they just couldn't figure that out with the spaghetti code of how that all works. Oh, that's what it is, puzzle. I forgot about that. That's right. In the estate, you have to pay money for props. No, that's totally what it is. That's a brilliant point. Yeah, because I think the way it works is it's normal in the open world. When you're just doing like normal Event Lab building with collab, solo, whatever, there's no cost to the props. But yeah, they did say, I think in the FAQs or somewhere, they did say that, yeah, to build stuff in the estate, you have to pay money. So it's like a money sink. It's like an end game money sink. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Thank you for bringing that up. I completely spaced that. Yeah, I think that has to be why they don't let you do it collab. Because otherwise you'd be able to like have your rich friend come in and build stuff for you or whatever. Like it would break whatever system is in place for that. Yeah. Man, I forgot. I'm so excited that I forgot and re-remembered that, because I love that exists. I think that's very cool. Anyway, yeah, that's that. Kind of reconfirms, kind of crystallizes a couple features going on there. Makes sense, but it's an easy workaround. What do you think the workaround would be for that? Discover rare aftermarket cars. Again, we know a little bit about this already. Parked around the game world are aftermarket cars, which you can test drive or add to your collection. These are often offered at a discount, and they include some extremely rare and unique models to show off in your garage. Okay, now this, you're gonna hear my dog barking, by the way. I apologize. He always loses it when my wife and kid leave and walk without him. He gets very upset about it. Actually, let me see if I can bring him in here. Ente! Come here, buddy. Ente, come. K-pop Demon Hunters is playing in my house. Hi, buddy boy. Hi, do you need to be in here for a minute? Would this help your stress? Being with daddy? Yeah, probably for like 2 seconds, and then you're going to be right back at that door, huh? Here you go. Some free doggo time. Free doggo time for everybody. Yeah, good boy. Good boy. You got to lick away your stresses. I know. I know. It's okay. It's okay that they left the house. It's okay. They're allowed to do that without you. They are. It's real. It's true. It's true. Okay, buddy boy. Do you want to lay down? You want to go lay down? Hi. Yes, I love you. I love you. Hi. Okay, you can just sit here if you want. We're just yapping anyway. Anyway, this is actually a little bit interesting because in my head, okay, no lick, you're all done. In my head, I thought these would be a one-time purchase. The wording that they used for this implied that these are a one-time purchase kind of thing. Where like they're like barn finds. You find them in the map, you buy them, and then that's done. But the fact that they say you can test drive and they're mostly this. The cars are often offered at a discount. That almost implies that it's like a rotating roster of cars. Which I think would be way cooler. Like what would be really cool is if there were oh yeah, okay, now he's whining at the door. Hold on. Go ahead, buddy. What would be really cool is if there's like it's like a Gran Turismo 4 used car system, but in the open world, where like every week, every day, whatever, some cycle of time, these cars refresh with something new. So like, let's just say there's 10 locations for these around the world. And every day there's a different car there. And like sometimes it's a more common car, but sometimes it's like a rare car with a custom mod on it. Or like a custom livery on it. I think that would be so sick. Because then, like every week, every month, whatever, every day, you'd like drive by and then you'd be like, oh, wait, like that's a car I haven't seen before. I gotta like go test drive it or I gotta go buy it. I think that'd be cool. This implies that it might not be a one and done feature. The fact that they say these cars are often offered at a discount. I feel like if there were only like a dozen of them, they wouldn't use that wording. This almost implies that that's a more permanent feature. Players have inventory of purchased goods like cars. Give them an inventory of furniture and findables that are placeable. Anyone invited pulls from the owner's inventory. Sure. Hell, that inventory already exists because the players have to buy assets for the garage and estates anyway. I still think it's the reason most likely because that's more work, but I equally think they ran into some larger issues getting a shared space working. Yeah. Yeah, it might just be like a convenient truth kind of thing. But anyway, yeah. I hope that this is a more permanent feature that has more value outside of like, oh yeah, I found that car at that location, now it's done. You know? I like more persistent stuff like that. The radar, this is funny. Wait a minute. Why don't they show a picture with the radar active? Huh? They have access to that. I've got it right here. Hold on. It's towards the end, right? Oh no, maybe it's not towards the end. Yeah, it's right here. It's when they're talking about accessibility stuff, isn't it? Yeah, they've got footage with the radar open. Why did they not use that when they're talking about the the radar? Whoops. Hold on. I broke it. Uh-oh. Wait. Wait. Alt F4. Bail. There we go. Yeah, that's really funny. Okay, anyway, Horizon 6 introduces car proximity radar as a new option that, when enabled, provides additional awareness while racing. This proximity radar helps identify cars in your blind spots, making it easier to avoid unintended collisions, keep the racing clean, especially when using cockpit, hood, or bumper cameras. Sure. It's just funny that they didn't put it in the screenshot. It should be right here. But whatever, I guess. Sure. Yeah. Updated car and environment sounds. We've heard a little bit about this. Cars in Horizon 6 sound better than ever with new recordings, remastered audio, and upgraded modular systems, including turbo and backfires. Oh, cool. The driving experience is enhanced with more detailed surface interaction and improved cockpit impulse responses. This is all brought to life by new acoustic modeling tech, simulating the soundscape of the world. We're also introducing Triton Acoustics, which is an object-based spatial reverb system. What does that link to? Hold on. Hello? Project Triton. It's loading. It's thinking. Also, sorry, you can hear my dogs. Okay, we'll come back to that later. I don't know if that page is just dead, but when you click on, oh, there, it popped up. Okay, yeah, Project Triton. It's some, like, Microsoft audio thing. All right, well, that's cool. Yeah, some spatial audio that does things spatially. There you go. All right, cool. Yeah, nice. Simulates real-world acoustics by generating reverb signals from virtual positions of objects within the game. To complement the visual contrast throughout the environment, we've captured extensive field recordings across all 4 seasons in Japan. This is also cool, creating a rich and truly authentic world for you to experience. I don't know if they've done this. Maybe they have. I don't know if they did new soundscapes for every season. That's neat. I know that was a big marketing thing in Horizon 5. Like, oh yeah, the environments sound great. And they do. If you just like chill, yeah, the environments do sound nice. It's cool though that like in the spring we're going to get like cicadas, and in the fall like it's going to have a different sound, and I guess not the spring, in the summer. In the summer weeks like you get cicadas in Japan, and then you don't in other seasons. That is cool. I wonder if they're doing ray traced audio. They did in 5, but I don't know if this, I'm not a big audio guy, so I don't know if this is necessarily, this almost seems like a replacement of the ray traced audio in 5. Yeah, that was like a big marketing push, like a big marketing point they brought up from Horizon 5 is ray traced audio. So yeah, I'm 100% sure they did do that in 5, because I remember that being like a big thing they talked about. But this almost seems to, I guess if this is just, well, yeah, this kind of seems like it's sort of a replacement of it. But yeah. Well, yeah, Fuse, and I think a lot of it too was that like so much of where you were driving through was just like open, so there wasn't a lot to like bounce off, like, but if you go to the city, the audio does definitely like echo off the buildings a little bit. But yeah, the car sounds were like never that great, but if you like hear the backfire in Guanajuato, you'll hear it kind of like like it kind of reverbs off and echoes out. Whereas if you do it in the desert, it's more of like a crisp, clear one note, like bang. But yeah, overall the audio is just not like a really big highlight, and I feel like it was really subtle, and there's not a lot of places where it's like that noticeable. But 100% that was like a marketing point they brought up. But yeah, I'm curious like how that plays into this, or if this is just a direct replacement to that. But anyway, yeah, the seasons thing is cool. The fact that somebody said, yeah, Puzzle said seasons in Horizon 5 are all the same. Yeah. So that's neat. Like, those are the subtle things that do matter. When you're driving through the fields and you're driving through them in summer for the first time and you're like, ooh, this sounds different. I can hear bugs. Or like, oh, wow, it's like so much quieter in the winter. That, I hope that pays off in like the experience of the game. New cars and customization options. Horizon 6 introduces updated Forza Aero and the very much requested ability to paint liveries on windows. Yay! I'm legit so excited about that. Here's what I'm nervous about. I think that this will be for every car. I do worry that it won't be. I'm not saying I like 100% think it won't be. But it's just one of those things I could see them doing. Is like for the old models where they already have an existing UV map in place, maybe they didn't update it. And so it's only like, you know, a lot of the newer models that get liveries on windows. I hope it's everything. And the implication is that it's everything. But I have a little inkling of worry that maybe some of the old models will not get paintable liveries on windows. What if we can't place the stickers wherever we want? Yeah, people have also brought that up too, of like, oh, you'll only be able to like place decals in certain spots. Like you'll only be able to use like, you know, the rear quarter or like the windshield banner, and you won't be able to just put a big old sticker right here. Potentially I'd be okay with that, because okay, here's what I will say. I almost don't know if I do want you to be able to paint the whole windshield. I do and I don't. Because on some level, you know, I go to thinking of like, okay, drift culture, you know, you'll get like a video option. It's like, it's really popular to put the video option URL like right here, v-opt. Or put like other, you know, drifty stickers there. And I'd be bummed if you couldn't do that. But also, if the whole windshield's paintable, people are just going to put big memes over the windshield. People are going to put like big anime boobs on the windshield. That'll 100% happen. And it's just going to be silly. Like, it's a double-edged sword of like, I do want the ability to paint all the windshield because I want to be able to like put stickers on the lower third and obviously have a windshield banner. But I don't want the whole thing to be paintable so people can like completely paint over it with a meme. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, right. I'm fine with just the top banner on windshield if the alternative is Lightning McQueen. Right. I don't want to see a lot of Lightning McQueen cars all over the place. I don't know if I want that. Oh, Sumo, yeah, maybe it'll be a secondary feature. Yeah, you might be right. Maybe it won't be built into the existing livery editor. It'll be like a separate windshield editing tool. That maybe could be the case. We'll see. So yeah, I'm really curious how that's gonna work. You can turn off car liveries, but I don't want car liveries as a whole to be gone. I just want like unrealistic liveries to not be taking over the game, which already kind of exists, but like they're not unrealistic in that sense. Like they're unrealistic in the sense that they're like meme. People normally wouldn't run them, but like if you have a full if your entire windshield is painted, like that's genuinely unrealistic, and I don't want that. So we'll see. We'll see how that works. I would be okay if maybe we like just get the windshield banner. I think for me, the ideal middle ground solution is we like get a windshield banner and a little lower third. Like we get a lower quarter, an upper third, and then like the middle strip has to remain visible. I'd be okay with that. And then yeah, like maybe we still haven't seen anything like on the driver's windows, like the front passenger window. I don't know. Everything they've said kind of implies you just have free reign. You know, they say very much requested ability to paint liveries on windows. That kind of just implies like, yeah, go nuts, do whatever you want. And from what we've seen and heard so far, like outside of just this, kind of implies like, hey, yeah, go nuts, do whatever you want. So I don't know. We'll see. At the very least, though, no matter what we get, it's a step up. No matter what we get, from a creative standpoint, it will be better. It just might open the floodgates a little bit, but we'll see. In addition, we also have added new rims. Cool. We obviously that's an assumption, but we didn't technically know that yet. And you can install different rims on the front and rear of your cars, which was kind of figured out. We saw that in some of the footage. That's also great. What's more, cars now affected by the world around them. New cosmetic tire wear means the car responds authentically as you rack up miles on those iconic Japanese roads. Which is, we talked about this already. It feels like such a weird piece of tech to throw into a Horizon game. This also, we were talking about, is it gonna reset every time you go back to the garage or not? This kind of very loosely implies that it won't. But you could realistically, you could completely take it either way. But it is just kind of a funky feature. I'm happy, like, sure, it's cool. It's a sim-me thing. It's a realism immersion thing, whatever. It's just such a funky thing to, like, throw into Horizon. But, like, more power to them. More power to them. And then finally, enhanced steering wheel animations. Cars in Horizon 6 feature updated steering animations with up to 540 degrees of rotation. Enjoy the immersion when using cockpit camera as you explore Japan. Again, we had already kind of heard about this, but it's nice to reiterate that. And then they mention at the end that it's a play anywhere game, which is good. And for the first time, it's fully cross-save. It says here, yeah, also cross-play and cross-save between Series, Xbox on PC, PlayStation 5, and Steam. And that's the first time we've ever had that. Horizon 5 is a different save on all your different things. So, like, for me, I have Horizon 5 on Steam. That's a completely separate save to my Horizon 5 that I have on PC on the Windows Store. So, yeah, this is, like, fully cross-play, cross-save across every device. Which is really good. For the people that will take advantage of that, that's a very nice feature. So yeah, I'm happy they were like able to figure that out. And there you go. You get the J50 wish list, bada bing, bada boom. That's kind of everything, and we've already seen that shop. Dudes, on that note, I think we have finally concluded our yap for the day. I think we have yapped our final yap. Yeah. It's gonna be a banger. I'm excited for Horizon 6, man. Before we heard anything, I was prepping myself and honestly like trying to prep the community in a way, like my community of like, hey, you gotta learn to see through the dev talk. They are showing you what they want to show you. They have complete control of the narrative right now. Obviously, they're not going to show you boring things, bad things, broken things, whatever. But what they've shown us is like largely really good. And I feel like they've done a pretty good job of like everything. I feel like what they've been showing is all very good, and that I don't think they're necessarily, and this is dangerous for me to say, I don't think they're like overhyping it. I think they're being realistic about it. They're being not too open, but not too reserved. Like we're getting kind of like just enough info to satisfy while also really wanting to know more. I think they're doing like a good job of media presence and like teasing just enough info and giving us just enough. But I'm really curious like when those floodgates are going to open, because I do think at some point, like, yeah, we're going to get the map reveal, we're going to get the full car list, we're going to like learn about more features that, you know, we might get the Let's Go streams again. Well, they'll kind of deep dive into stuff. They might get big blog posts. So yeah, I think at some point the floodgates are going to open and we're going to kind of know a lot more about the game. Because there are still a ton of questions. Like, we still don't know a lot about how like multiplayer racing is going to work. We technically don't even know if like ranked racing is going to be in the game. They've been a little bit cagey about that. They've kind of like teased some stuff that there's like a heavier focus on racing, and that there's going to be, I think they said like spec car championships was the terminology they used, but we don't know the specifics of how like the PvP is going to work. So yeah, we'll see. Do I think this has the chance to be the best Horizon of all time? That's been asked, and I think it depends. I do think there is a certain magic of the first game that will never really be repeated. The first game is not a Horizon game in the modern sense. It's a very different game in like just overall feel and vibe and energy and whatever. It's a different game. And some people will always cling on to the energy and the feel of the first game, and I completely understand that. In a lot of ways I do too. But I do still think Horizon 6, as long as they don't like completely bin the launch, which I think is a total possibility. If it has a smooth launch and they do actually like deliver on the features, the multiplayer features, and you know, it's relatively bug free and the servers are working and it actually is kind of everything that we think it's going to be, I certainly think it'll be like the best modern Forza. Yeah. It is 100% going to be like the best selling Forza of all time. There's no way it won't. The hype, Horizon 5 was already an enormous game. Horizon 5 sold tens of millions of copies and also was on Game Pass. I think we're like well over 50 million players for that game. And that was like for Mexico. This is Japan. This is like the location. So there, unless they completely bin it on the launch and like it gets some terrible press because the game's completely broken, which is a possibility. Unless that happens, like as long as it goes at least relatively smooth and the launch like is okay and the game like turns out it is what we want it to be, this game's gonna freaking explode. This is gonna be one of the biggest selling games I think of all time, even outside of racing games. It already is. Horizon 5 is already one of the best selling racing games of all time, if not arguably could be the best racing game, most sold racing game of all time. I think GT7 might have them beat. It's just that they don't publicize that. But yeah, it's gonna be massive. Like there's no denying that it is gonna be enormous. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It really just all comes down to the launch to me. Yeah, Japan location alone is going to be a massive selling point. 100% it will be. 100%. This game, again, as long as they don't bin it, it's going to be like a crazy big success. Because Horizon 5 already was. And again, that was like a location people weren't like really hoping for a long time. And that, yeah, it feels like they're really taking a good swing at this one, but we don't know. We don't know. I've been sold on it the moment the trailer started with that salaryman lying on pavement in a drunken haze. That was me. Yeah, the game's gonna sell like hotcakes. It will. Anyway, dudes, I'm gonna call it right there.